Opening night, Eagles, big favorites, 8.5. The banner being raised tonight, and the Cowboys come in. And are they dangerous? Dak is good against the NFC East. Dak is good against the Eagles. But with what has happened in the offseason, I know what's going to happen. The Eagles aren't going to be able to run the ball because the Cowboys are ready to stop the run. I don't know if they can stop the pass, but they're going to stop the run with Kenny Clark, who all of a sudden is going to be Aaron Donald. I do like him. And Ross Tucker, who will join us a little bit later on, had a great tweet because he was saying, well, apparently, Micah Parsons not worth $47 million a year, but he is to Green Bay and $47 million a year and Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks. So it's the eye of the beholder here in what Dallas was willing to pay. And if Jerry got to a point where he said, all right, that's it. I'm not going to negotiate. That maybe his feelings were hurt here. Now you go to Green Bay. He's expected to play in the opener against Detroit, although may need an epidural, which is kind of interesting you passed a physical. You had to pass a physical to be traded, but might need treatment leading up to this game. But we also have football on Friday night. Don't sleep on that. And you have the Chiefs and the Chargers in Brazil. Now, here's the problem I have with this. I know we're getting to, global expansion here. The NFL is going to get to an 18-game schedule, and they're going to have, 18 games that are going to be international games. And they're going to, once again, that's worth $1 billion or whatever. It's monopoly money. But this is what they want to do. This way they don't take away a home game. The fact that the Chargers and Chiefs, a divisional rivalry game, is going to be played in Brazil is malpractice. I mean, that's terrible. Because that should be played in Los Angeles, or if it was going to be played in Kansas City. This is a divisional game. And I don't think the fans in Brazil are going to go, hey, we better get an opening game. We better get a week 1 game. They should have these games, and I'm fine with games, if you want them to have in London and Germany and Ireland. I'm not anti-international. What I am anti is a divisional game we're going to export, and it's week 1. You can't do that to the Chiefs and the Charger fans. Week 7, and then you have a bye week. If you want to do it that way, then I think it's fair to all involved. I don't like having opening day in Japan. I understand that, or Korea. I understand you want to, hey, this is something different. It's our game. You can still have games there, but let's not have opening day or their first week, their first game, a divisional game, and you're going to play it in Brazil. It's not fair to the teams, to their fans, but this will let you know exactly what the NFL is all about. Players don't like it. Fans don't like it. But the owners like it. Let's play some football in Brazil. Who's with me? I just think it's unfortunate that you have all of this buildup and now you're going to send those guys to Brazil. They should be playing this game here in the United States, and it's a divisional game. It's an important game. Yes, Todd.
And you can't even give the Chargers a home game week 2 when they get back from there. They got to play at the Raiders. It's not till week 3 where they host Denver. It's like, give them a break a little bit, the Bolts.
Yes, Paulie?
I think your point, especially about delaying it to week 7, 8, 9, makes tons of sense. Like people in Brazil, while they may be growing football and they may like to have a nice game with some big names, it doesn't matter if it's the opener. The opener means nothing. Like you said about baseball with the opener in Japan. Cool. And I know for timing they had to do that, but there's too much downside for the local fans.
They could have had training camp games in Japan, and they would have been happy to see the Dodgers there. And you could have accomplished whatever. I don't think they said, wait a minute, is it a regular season game or is it spring training? Now, you could have ramped up your lineup there a little bit, and you could have said, hey, we want to showcase some of our best players. We want to make sure Ohtani's playing, and maybe it's 3 innings that he's going to play, what they do in a typical spring training game. And maybe you get a little bit more over there. Okay, training camp could have been over there for a couple of... You start out by playing games and then come back and go to spring training. It's just wrong. And I'm all about growing the game. Whatever it takes, let's try new things, grow the game. Spring training, you can have a couple of games in Japan, and I think they're going to be okay with this. And if you want to have a game in Brazil, I mean, this is why we always had, it felt like the Jags and the Panthers in London. It's like, all right, we'll give you a game. It's not a great game, but here you go. You got some football. Now we're sending the Chiefs, and if that's their home team, okay, we could wait for week 7 or 8 and then give them a bye week when they come back. But I don't want to be in a bad mood on opening night.
Air the grievances early.
Well, I think people are going to respond to this after the fact. Certainly Chiefs fans and Charger fans, they've already voiced their concerns, disdain for this. But the NFL doesn't care. They don't have to. All they care about is themselves, the owners. And this is going to be more money. Here's the commissioner, Roger Goodell. He was on the Today Show on NBC talking about the possibility of expanding to 18 games.
Listen, we always say, what do the fans want? What do the fans really think is important? And I think it's clear they want more regular season games versus preseason games. And it's something that we'll work through with the Players Association. We continue to make our game safer, and I think that's at the core of making that kind of a decision. Can we do it safely for our players? But it also, I think, represents an opportunity for us to continue to bring higher quality NFL content ultimately, and a regular season game is clearly better.
A lot of NFL fans would love to not have to go to work. At what point do we start to see the Super Bowl on President's Day weekend?
I think if you went to 18 weeks regular season, that would probably occur.
Okay.
It's possible somewhere in the calendar it could happen before that, just because of the calendar, the way it lays out. But I think 18 weeks would get you to that point, and I think it'd be a really great move.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for years, that they were going to get to, this is all scripted. This has been planned out. They know what's going to happen. Now the negotiations are going to happen. It'll be 18 games. You're going to have every team will play outside the United States. They're going to sell that a separate TV package for those international games. All this stuff. We've talked about this for years. And you're going to move the season back. It'll be President's Day weekend. Everybody gets Monday off. This is no surprise here. And it almost sounded like an announcement by the commissioner. It was pretty close to saying, this is what's going to happen. And yes, we move it back. Yeah, President's Day weekend. And everybody wants more football. And we want everybody to be safe. You can't add another game and tell me you care about safety. You can't. And now, this is what I want. I want the NFL to promise this. I hope the Players Association says, hey, we'll do 18 games. This is what we want. We want 4 more roster spots for each team. Extra bodies. That's what we want. So now I get 4 more players on each team getting paid, getting benefits, the opportunity to play in the NFL. If you say that's what you're going to get out of this, and I'm sure they'll want more, then okay. I get to watch it, but these players have to play. They're the ones that are affected the rest of their lives, playing these games, the number of games. But if you have, let's say, 4 more roster spots, then maybe you get the opportunity to, you don't have attrition here where you're like limping to the finish line with your roster. And every single year, how many quarterbacks play the entire season? Just start there. And that's the most protected player on the field. You can't add another game and tell me it's about safety. It's about money. And the players know this. The clock is ticking on their sports careers. How many years? How much money? What am I going to be like when I get out of here? Yes, Eaton.
I like in that clip that about the 18th game, Roger Goodell says, we're just doing what the fans want. And they've said that they want an 18th game, so we're going to do that. Okay, but the fans hate the international games. Yeah, the fans are wrong on that. That's our international fans don't love it, so we're listening to them.
Oh. Well, yeah, Paulie.
I'm curious. We've never really discussed this angle. It's so obvious. Does anyone here not want an 18th regular season game? If it was an actual fan vote. I don't even know my answer yet, but I'm curious about this room.
I'm fine with it. I don't think anybody's turning off football. I'm not big on Thursday night football. I don't think we're being fair to the players. When you have a game on Sunday and a game on Thursday, it's just, And having spoken to current and former players, the turnaround is really, really tough. Now, you do it because you get an extra paycheck or you're going to get a chance to be in primetime and standalone game. I understand all of these things. I'm not going to say, all I'm going to say is, let's be fair to the players. You're going to give them more money, another paycheck, and maybe you get some more roster spots. But let's not kid anybody. This is not about anybody other than the owners want this. We're fine. The networks want this. They give the money to the owners. And the commissioner works for the owners. That's what this is all about. You want to give me more football? Great. But I do think about the players. And I go back to what I told you when I saw Jim McMahon out in Tahoe. And what he meant to the NFL. And here he is telling me that he almost had his leg amputated. And he doesn't have health benefits. Those are the things that bother me. When I first saw Earl Campbell in a wheelchair, those are the things that bother me. But I've been around the sport for 40 years now. And I think you have to be fair to these players. You know, what's their health care? What's their benefits? Because we move on. It's like, oh, yeah, oh, that guy. Oh, he's in a wheelchair. Oh, damn. Hey, what time's the game start tonight? Like, we move on with it. I just want to make sure that we're fair to these players who are entertaining us. And if you want to add an 18 game, okay. I get to enjoy it. But let's be fair to all involved here. International games, how about not a divisional rival game? Okay. I mean, we can export a game that's not that interesting. We do it to London all the time. But that bothers me to open up in Brazil with the Chiefs and Chargers, a divisional game. I have a problem with that.